Hello everybody and welcome inside of Everbank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. Monster Jam ready to rumble. We have 16 competitors in 2014 in the Sunshine State, one of the most legendary homes of Monster Jam. Let's meet those 16 competitors. We have Chad Fortune, Captain America, Mark McDonald in the black El Toro Loco, Becky McDonough in the yellow El Toro Loco. On the track right now we have Carl Van Horn in Gravedigger, as well as Tom Mentz in Max D. Scott Hartsock is here in Gunslinger, Derek Anson in Heavy Hitter, Steven Sims, Hooked, Buddy Tompkins, Ice Cream Man, Medusa, Damon Bradshaw, Monster Energy, Candace Jolly, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Stevie Snellen in River Rat, Brian Wright in Stone Crusher, and J.R. McNeil in Exterminator. This is one heck of a field of trucks ready to go to battle. And man, oh man, I am so excited to see how they will perform. We've got some legends that are going to be competing in this one in Jacksonville, Florida. And back in 2014, man, this is prime time for Jacksonville. This is when some of these guys were going absolutely insane. I also forgot to mention Adam Anderson is also here in Gravedigger the Legend. I skipped over him trying to get down to Tom Mentz's name, but what a stacked field of 16 trucks. They'll be competing in racing and Monster Jam Freestyle coming up in just a few moments as they're doing their intros right now. The fireworks going off, signifying the beginning of yet another incredible Monster Jam event. Now let's begin tonight's competition with Monster Jam Racing. Medusa takes on Adam Anderson in Gravedigger. We've got Chicago Style Racing 2014, a legendary year for tracks. This is a year in which the tracks were absolutely wild for freestyle. I can't wait to see that, but we've got to get through the 16 truck racing bracket first. Adam Anderson crosses the line first, barely though. Medusa almost took down the World Racing Champ. Next up, we have Stone Crusher. That is being piloted tonight by Brian Wright. He is taking on Candace Jolly in the Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Right now, Candace Jolly taking Brian Wright to school. He's got some major problems here on the Chicago-style track. Candace Jolly staying smooth, and she is able to cross the line first as your winner. Either had a really smooth race there, but that will take us in to the next matchup. We have Captain America, driven by Chad Fortune, taking on Becky McDonough in El Toro Loco. Again, one of two El Toro Locos competing tonight. Such a rare occurrence. This did not happen very often, and Chad Fortune has the lead. Becky McDonough in trouble. She is over on the dumpster, and that is not a good ending to her race. Chad Fortune's your winner, as he will be able to get a berth into round number 2. Again, there's 16 trucks. So you've got a lot of time before Becky McDonough has to freestyle. If there's something wrong with that truck, she will likely get a chance to get it fixed, especially getting knocked out in round 1. We get our next pairing, we get the next El Toro Loco. Mark McDonald takes on Buddy Tompkins in the Ice Cream Man. At this point, Buddy Tompkins still a relatively newer driver, so a tough task for him taking on Mark McDonald, a longtime veteran in the sport. And now Buddy Tompkins with problems. He's able to keep it on all fours. It's not going to get him a win, though. El Toro Loco does that as he moves on to the next round. Buddy Tompkins, we will see back in freestyle. Next pairing, we have Stevie Snellen in the River Rat, and his opponent is Tom Mentz in Max D. Quite a tough matchup for Stevie Snellen here. Tom Mentz, obviously one of the greatest Monster Jam drivers of all time, and Stevie Snellen's going to have to try and take him down, but right now it's pretty close. Not anymore. Tom Mentz crosses the line with a huge victory. We'll see Stevie Snellen back in the freestyle competition. Now we get to see Derek Anson in the Heavy Hitter. He will take on Scott Hartsock in Gunslinger. Scott Hartsock, one of the greatest racers of all time. Obviously, a little bit past his prime, but still, he is quite the great racer. Pretty close race right now coming around this final turn. We don't get to see Gunslinger around that turn, but he will cross the line first, as he looked a little bit faster than Derek Anson did in that race. Got to slam on the brakes to not slam into the wall. That'll take us to the next race. Carl Van Horn in Gravedigger takes on Hooked. That is driven by Steven Sims. Steven Sims, a relatively new driver at this point, but man, he could drive, but he washes it out in the turn. Carl Van Horn staying smooth, and it looks like he's going to have himself a big victory. Steven Sims going to let him pass. Gravedigger has himself an easy victory. Carl Van Horn is off to the next round. Steven Sims just couldn't quite get it done. Now we get to see Damon Bradshaw, Monster Energy, taking on J.R. McNeil in Exterminator. J.R. McNeil at this point already passed his Raisin Cane days, taking on Damon Bradshaw, one of the greatest racers in the sport. Damon, one of the fastest men to ever sit behind the wheel of a monster truck. J.R. McNeil certainly taken to school in this race. Monster Energy with a massive victory. He's off to the next round. Damon Bradshaw always so fast. We've got a little bit of an encore here as Batman is coming out to do donuts. I don't know who the heck is driving it. It doesn't say who it is on the thing here, but we're getting some donuts from Batman. How exciting. It's a fun little addition to the event here in Jacksonville. Not sure why this was happening. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. Why was this going on? But still very cool to see. Let's see the donut that Batman's going to be doing for us. It's very weird to not know the driver. I'm just like, yeah, here's Batman. And Batman doing a great donut. Oh yeah, look at the donut from Batman. Well, that was a very underwhelming donut. They brought Batman out to do a donut as an encore, and he did absolutely nothing. I think it might be John Seesaw, but it probably wouldn't be. I'm not going to guess. There's someone's face on the board up there. Can't tell who it is. Well, here's round 2 of racing. That was interesting. Here's Candice Jolly and Montemont Dalmatian taking on Adam Anderson in Gravedigger the Legend. Adam Anderson getting a little bit too close to that turning car, and that's going to screw him up big time. Adam Anderson tumbles over. Candice Jolly in the Montemont Dalmatian is going to have herself a victory here in round 2. She crosses the line. Not yet. Come on, cross the line, Candice. As your winner, Adam Anderson in Gravedigger going for a crazy ride, and he is done. Gravedigger the Legend taken out in round 2. It's Mark McDonald in El Toro Loco and Chad Fortune in Captain America. Chad Fortune never really known for his racing, and he's got some problems there in that first turn as Mark McDonald keeping it nice and tight. Mark McDonald, always such a great racer, and this El Toro Loco truck is off to the semifinals. Looking good here in Jacksonville. That black El Toro Loco truck representing the Crazy Bull name well. Now Scott Hartsock and Gunslinger had a bit of a problem off the line. This is a legendary matchup because Scott Hartsock's taking on Tom Mentz in Max D, the two drivers that raced in the first ever World Finals Racing Championship, and they're pretty close right now. Tom Mentz had himself some problems in that second turn. It's going to be a close race, but Tom Mentz pulls away at the end. Scott Hartsock trying his best in his home state of Florida, but can't get it done. Tom Mentz, Max D is your winner. Now the next race we pick up in play, we have Carl Van Horn and Gravedigger taking on Damon Bradshaw, Monster Energy. Looks like we're about to enter the final turn here as we are. Monster Energy had a lead, staying fast, crosses the line. That might have been a 5-second penalty for Damon Bradshaw. I don't know. It was not a 5-second penalty, so Monster Energy does move along. But a pretty wild race there takes us to the semifinals. It's Mark McDonald in El Toro Loco takes on Candice Jolly, Montemont Dalmatian. Candice Jolly is all into the cars in that turn. Major problems for her, and that's going to slow down El Toro Loco and prevent him from getting a really good time, which is not going to help him as he is off to the final round. He was trying to get that good time in there, but not going to be very easy. But he's been looking good tonight. Next race is the final semi-final race, and we've got a battle right now. Damon Bradshaw, Monster Energy, Tom Mentz, Max D. Damon Bradshaw never won a World Racing Championship, but always regarded as one of the best racers, and he's got a lead right now. Tom Mentz makes up the ground at the end in a photo finish. What a race. Tom Mentz was about a truck length behind, but used that horsepower to push him ahead. Was it enough to get him there? It was. Tom Mentz crossed the line first, as your winner. And before the final round, we've got Batman back again, and he's going to do a little Monster Jam freestyling for us. Now that's something funny, if I do say so myself. So how about this? We've got Batman on the track, folks. He's leaping already with some nice air. So Batman, clearly it's a Batman Encore day. And I have no idea what this means for anything. I have no idea what it's for, but Batman getting some nice air. No idea who's driving still. Again, his face is up there on the board, but I can't tell who it is. Lining up for the jammer. Nice sky wheelie. Whoever it is not... I don't know. I mean, he's certainly airing it out in freestyle right now. Getting a nice run. Look at him. Kind of crawling it over the cars, but he doesn't have the speed and the momentum. I'm trying to kind of gather who it might be. Could be Norm Miller. I know Norm Miller was driving Batman at the time. But I don't know. I mean, I could not tell you. Nice sky wheelie. I mean, Norm Miller would make the most sense, but I just don't understand why Batman is here, why he's freestyling, why he's doing donuts. What's going on? Going for that jammer again. Based on this run in of itself, I can tell you we're going to have ourselves a fun freestyle competition tonight. Look at the way these ramps are sending the Batman truck. Oh no! Sends him on his lid after that one. And that is the end of Batman tonight. But, I mean, the fun night of Encores for Batman continues, and will take us to the final round of Monster Jam Racing. Mark McDonald gets a power wheelie off the line of El Toro Loco. Max D is sitting at the line. What happened here? Mark McDonald's just going to go around him. Not sure what happened to Max D. I don't know if this means Max D is done. I don't know if this means El Toro Loco's your winner. I have to find out, but for now... yeah, Scott Douglas has announced El Toro Loco is the winner. Seems like Max D couldn't get it off the line. And for some reason, Mark McDonald is able to get a bye run to win racing tonight in Jacksonville. What a fascinating night of Monster Jam Racing. And what a cool night that will lead us into Monster Jam Freestyle. Look at him, he's going to park it right next to Tom and let him know that he's the boss tonight. Ooh, Tom Meents is going to do a backflip. How exciting. Oh my! The truck was on fire for a second. Well, Tom Meents landed a backflip, so that's pretty cool. And now he's just going to go and wave to the fans. What an interesting night of Encores we've got. I have to remember this is back before backflips became a really regular thing, but I mean, they were really pretty common back in 2013 at the World Finals, and I mean, I know they happened in 2014, so interesting, but still cool. I mean, it's probably an homage to this building that had the first ever Monster Jam backflipping competition from Cam McQueen and Nitro Circus. So now it's time for freestyle. Scott Hartsock in Gunslinger is gonna start things off. Very, very exciting to see what Scott Hartsock is going to be able to do here. Jacksonville, such a legendary home for Monster Jam. And again, there's 90 seconds of regulation time and then 30 of bonus. That is how these events worked back in the day. And Scott Hartsock, the late legend Scott Hartsock, who passed away a few years ago, always cock-locked and ready to rock, goes over the van stack. Now, like we saw in that Batman Encore freestyle, this track is going to give us some big air tonight and is certainly angled to do that. Oh, look, there's still hot seats, too. I forgot back in 2014 they had the hot seats in the stands. This is a local event for Scott Hartsock. Oh, he might have some problems. I don't know. It almost seemed like the truck dropped into neutral and wouldn't come out for a second, but I think he's back and rolling now. Looks like they also covered up the backflip ramp, so I don't think anyone's going to be allowed to hit the backflip. So it seems like that Max D backflip's the only backflip of the day. Quite interesting. Very different world. Isn't that crazy? 10 years ago this event was, and to think about how different the world is now 10 years later in the Monster Jam world, where backflips are such a common thing and how they happen for a lot of drivers, and it's essentially a staple to be able to win freestyle. This is back in a day where you didn't need to do a backflip to win. You needed to be the coolest, you need to have the coolest freestyle. Scott Hartsock is setting the bar here as the first of the 16 competitors. He's got 20 seconds left in bonus time. Nice little sky wheelie. Ooh, hard landing on the front. The shocks didn't absorb any of that. It seems like, again, some minor transmission issues as it might have, again, shifted back into neutral by accident. And the time is up there for Scott Hartsock in Gunslinger. He's going to get one more jump in there for good measure and for the fans. And he's going to actually add in another. He's going to pop it right there on top of the pod. Give a round of applause for Scott Hartsock, the late legend, who has obviously since passed since this event happened. But very, very cool to get to watch him drive in commentaries again. Here's Stevie Snellen in the River Rat. I always used to love this truck when it would compete. It's the good old Willys body design, and the white walls on the tires, something that was so not a thing ever. I mean, most people didn't do that. And again, obviously, Stevie Snellen, an independent driver, but still, the River Rat was such a cool design, and I remember when I first saw it, I was so impressed with the way that it looked. I wonder if the River Rat and Heavy Hitter might be teammates. I have no idea. I didn't know that back in the day, but now that I'm thinking about it, these might be teammate trucks. Stevie Snellen really never got any traction in Monster Jam, but I still always will love watching this River Rat truck drive. It's just such a beauty, and this is also, again, with the being able to have the white walls, this is before the time of the BKT tires. I think BKTs started becoming a thing in 2014. I know they weren't a thing in 2013, but I believe 2014 is when BKTs started appearing occasionally. And then 2015 is when they started happening even more. And then by 2016, they were on every single truck that was on the circuit. But this is before that time, so River Rat able to rock the white walls on the side of those tires. It's also when the drivers could have, I don't think they could have any tire that they want. I'm pretty sure they regulated the tires that they could have. You don't want to have anybody with a competitive advantage in that regard. Nice air from the River Rat, biggest air we've seen out of the first two competitors here tonight. He's now entered bonus time. Now you have to remember, the bonus judge and the regulation judges are very different. There's only one judge scoring in bonus out of a potential 5 points. Notice I never gave Gunslinger a score. He got a 16. Another nice jump from the River Rat, but again, he's really not done much of anything, but I highly doubt Stevie Snellen is coming out here to win freestyle. He's just out here to have fun in front of a packed house of Jacksonville fans. His time is up right there. He's going to cross thread for the last jump. Nice little change of pace for the River Rat. His door is ajar, and the River Rat will get a 13. Not enough. The Ice Cream Man is in town. It's Buddy Tompkins, ready to roll in Monster Jam Freestyle. And as I mentioned, in racing, this is before Buddy really became the driver we ended up knowing him to be. What is he doing? What is he, waving to Medusa for fun? I feel like that was completely not intentional. Out of all the trucks, you're not going to choose Medusa to call out, but whatever. He's off. His 2 minutes are on the clock. He gets that 90 seconds of regulation and 30 of bonus. The Dairy Queen flag waving in the background. A very funny sponsor for the Ice Cream Man. I always loved the Ice Cream Man truck, and this is back still when they were a member of the J.R. McNeil team. J.R. McNeil had Raising Cane, Ice Cream Man, and Exterminator at this point. I think there might have been another identity that he ran. Nice air out of Ice Cream Man. That theme song is just so funny as he launches it over the cars. I always got such a kick out of it because they take the Ice Cream song and then they threw some rap over it. And it was just really, really funny. Very unique kind of song to use for this kind of situation. Buddy trying to get some nice air in there. Looks like he's got a broken sway bar on the left side, but it's 2014. That's not going to stop anything. ice cream song ringing again. I'll take a chipwich, please. Reminds me of the days as a child when I'd be waiting outside for the ice cream truck. Kids today never get to appreciate the ice cream man. Nice donut from Buddy Tompkins. That's definitely probably the highlight of the night in freestyle so far. I think he's going to stop it before he... Oh, no, he's not. He's going to keep on chugging. He's still got that broken sway bar. He's in bonus time right now. The broken sway bars and... I can't tell. It's hard to... I always forget. I feel like the sway bars, when they break, it's on the opposite side of where the truck is leaning, but I don't know for sure. Because it's like it lets go of that side and it makes it lean to the other, but I have no clue. I don't know enough about how these trucks work. I know a lot of stuff, and I learned a lot of stuff last year while being on tour, but there's still so much that I don't know about how it works. Buddy Tompkins' time is up. I mean, that's got to be your new best run of the night. The fans didn't give him one, though. They gave him a 14. Oh, it's not the fans, it's the judges. Can't forget that. It's a 14 for the Ice Cream Man. Buddy Tompkins, not enough. Gunslinger still in her top spot. And here's Becky McDonough and El Toro Loco. She's missing some horns because she flipped him over in the racing competition. Pretty wild race she had there. Wild ending to her race that she had there. Thankfully, that truck able to come back out and run in freestyle. Your fourth competitor here out of the 16 in this freestyle competition. Getting some nice air. Becky McDonough's been around for a couple of years at this point. Oh, wow, the first driver to hit that from the long side or to hit that ramp at all. Very cool from Becky McDonough. Getting some nice air. I'm excited to get some of those higher level competitors out here to really air it out, but Becky McDonough showing that she's not afraid of those big jumps. Oh no, she hits the cars from a bad angle, trying to save it, but she couldn't get any spin out of that front left. And unfortunately, El Toro Loco will have to settle with an 11. Here's J.R. McNeil, Exterminator. Exterminator, the second truck that J.R. McNeil piloted in Monster Jam. Oh my, he's in trouble too on two wheels. All right, he's able to save it. That could have been bad for the Exterminator there, but he's able to get the save. JR got his start in Monster Jam driving the Raisin Cane truck. Brought the Raisin Cane truck to life in Monster Jam. He even made it to a double down showdown driving the Raisin Cane truck, and then he whipped out the Exterminator. Some of you will remember Buddy Tompkins, who drove Ice Cream Man in this event, will go on to drive the Raisin Cane truck in a I'd say 2 to 3 years after this. Nice air. I always loved that Raisin Cane truck. It was one of my favorite. It's such a simple truck, but just the way it looked was really, really cool. I love the way that they've got the Dodge bodies on there. Nice air, using that long ramp as well. Becky McDonough did it. Now J.R. McNeil following it up. When J.R. McNeil first cracked into the sport, a lot of people thought this guy was going to be one of the next big drivers. A lot of people put him in the same category as Steven Sims and really thought he was going to be a guy who was going to be around the sport for a while and one of the better independents. Unfortunately for him, it never really panned out that way. But still, he ran that monster truck team, and he was a big member of the Monster Jam community for a while. J.R. McNeil getting a nice donut towards the end of his run. The two Amelie teammates getting the donuts thrown in there for fun. And his time is up. He's going to hit the van stack one more time. Definitely a good run. I'd probably put that at the top. And the judges do as well. It's a 19 for Exterminator. J.R. McNeil, your new leader here in Monster Jam Freestyle. Now here is Candace Jolly, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. This is another semi-local event for Candace Jolly, a native of Naples, Florida, ready to roll. Her crew chief's on the track on the left side of the screen. If you don't see him, he's got that bone. Getting ready to throw the bone. He's thrown it. Now Monster Mutt getting ready for freestyle. The crew chief going to clear the floor so that Candace Jolly can begin her 2 minutes. Purposely taking the time to make sure that he's off, and he is, so she's going to start. In the old chop-top Mercury body for the Monster Mutt Dalmatian, and man, I think I'm going to say it. I like the old Monster Mutt Dalmatian way more than the new one. I kind of like the old Monster Mutts in general better than the new ones. There's something about the simplicity of it, the way that they made this work so beautifully. I mean, they took a car body, they took a Mercury and decided, yeah, let's just turn this thing into a dog. And it worked really well. I mean, it really, really did. I love the way this truck looks. It's the first time I'm doing a commentary of one in probably 5 years. Candace Jolly trying to do things a little bit differently than we've seen some of the other drivers tonight. She's hitting some things from the side, not really hitting them straight on, trying to change up the eye level because she's never really wanted to go out and get that huge air. She is going to air it out there a little bit. You see the flash bulbs going off in the crowd. This is still part of that flash bulb era of Monster Jam. Kind of towards the tail end of it, but I remember back in 2008, 2009, I mean, anytime a truck was in the air, you'd see the flash bulbs from all the cameras in the crowd. If you take a look in the crowd, pretty much any time the truck gets in the air, there's going to be people taking pictures of it. It's such a cool thing. So cool. I mean, it's so nostalgic. I mean, we'll have some other events from like 2011 and 2012 I'm going to do commentaries on, and you'll really get to see it back then. But if you want to see the prime of the flashbulb era, you got to go back to 2006 and 2007. That's when pretty much any jump, you'd see the entire crowd just lighting up. Nice air. This is about the time when iPhones started to happen a little bit more. People started to get themselves iPhones, and so it was a much less common thing to have the flashbulb photography. Solid run from Candace Jolly. Monster Mutt Dalmatian's able to take the lead at a 20. Very solid freestyle. Oh, it's time for heavy hitter Derek Anson, as he will hit the track. And just looking at the chassis, I've got to believe, I think Heavy Hitter and River Rat are teammates. I don't know why I never thought of it until right now. It would make a lot of sense. Now, Derek Anson at the time, look at him airing it out, clearing the floor. Atta boy, Derek Anson. At the time of this event, I mean, this is when Derek Anson was kind of a real competitor in Monster Jam. I mean, some of you might forget that Derek Anson was one of the upper-level independents out there. He was in the Double Down Showdown, I think 2 or 3 times. He was always a middle-of-the-pack freestyler, too. I mean, look at the air! Derek Anson's airing it out! Keeping up with kind of the tiers that I've been giving these drivers from like S tier, A tier, B tier. Oh my, Heavy Hitter just throwing things around. I think I'd probably put Derek Anson in a low B tier at this point in 2014. I mean, he really was a pretty good driver. And this freestyle is keeping up with that. I mean, this has been a solid start to the run. He's only 70 seconds in. He's got a little less than a minute to keep it going, and I like the way this run is shaping up. Nice air using that jump. I want to see him get some more of those crazy, nice long jumps that he was getting before, though. He was really at about 3 to 4 moves strung together that were really great. He's now entered bonus time. Oh my! Look at the height on that! Heavy Hitter! He was kissing the sky. Not much time left for Derek Anson. He's certainly started bonus time off well, though, so seems like bonus time he's going to get a pretty good number. But again, it really depends on your entire run, and that's the thing. You have to look at the minute and a half of regulation and the 30 seconds of bonus very differently, because you could have a terrible minute and a half, and then your last 30 seconds are great. It's not going to matter. You're not going to get a good number. You can only get a maximum of 5 points in bonus time, which has just ended right now. So anything else just for the fans, and Heavy Hitter had a very good freestyle. And I have to imagine that bonus number is probably going to be a 3. It's probably the highest number we've seen in bonus today. I don't know the exact number for bonus time, but still, it is enough to take the lead. Heavy hitter with a 23. Very good run from Derek Anson. He's out of the truck saluting the fans. Attaboy, Derek Anson. What a solid freestyle. Oh man, they got that score in quick. Very, very cool. Here's your next competitor, Brian Wright in Stone Crusher. Nice sky wheelie to start off his run. Nose dives it in a little bit. Now Brian Wright, not the normal driver of Stone Crusher at this point. That is still Steve Sims, the father of Steven Sims, the hook driver in this event. But Brian Wright, a member of the Stone Crusher team, and this is when Brian Wright really started to get himself immersed in the Monster Jam scene driving for Steve Sims. In just a couple of years, we'll see him... Oh no! Right now, we're seeing him flipping it over. I was going to say in a few years, we'll see him driving a hooked truck pretty consistently on tour, but not much going for him tonight. Here's Mark McDonald, El Toro Loco. Mark McDonald, tonight's racing winner. And I always have to sing the praises of Mark McDonald when he freestyles because of the ability to get a wheelie out of literally anything he does. And I'm just going to lead it in for you so that you could be on the lookout for it when you see Mark McDonald doing wheelies out of nowhere. Oh no, he almost didn't get a chance, but he's able to save it. I was going to say, Mark McDonald almost just said, screw your wheelies, I'm flipping over. Nice side hit there to get a different look. Mark McDonald trying to double it down. Nice sky wheelie. Still got 45 seconds in regulation. Mark McDonald was I'd say, a much better freestyler at the beginning of his career when he was driving the Safe Auto Minimizer truck. I'm not saying he's a bad freestyler or not a good freestyler, but his forte really ended up becoming racing. Especially as he got closer towards the end of his career, he was much more of a racer than a freestyler, but still, a very good freestyler. I don't want to take anything away from his freestyle game. Still a very solid freestyler, but he was never a guy that you thought was going to win the freestyle competition. You just thought maybe he'll finish in the top 5 or 6. One move left in regulation. He's going to air it out. Nice air and a hard landing on the cars. And a power wheelie out of it. That's how you make something. So now he's going to try and turn it up for bonus time, trying to make the most out of those possible 5 points. But again, you only get 30 seconds to really impress that one judge. Really got to go above and beyond to secure a 5-point bonus score. Nice air there. I wouldn't say he's done much to do that. Probably on par for maybe a 3 in bonus, maybe even a 2. His time is up in bonus right there. Nice jump over the van stack. Now, this is also still at a time before they would really shut him off at the end of their run. If you want to go out there and give some more for the fans, go right ahead. But there's only a certain amount of time you're really allowed to do that. Nice air, and of course he's throwing in a wheelie right at the end of the run as he's just going to graze it off the backflip ramp. My goodness, that was a very awkward ending to the run, and he's going to end right on his side well after the time had expired, and El Toro Loco is going to tie for the lead at a 23. Here's Medusa. World Finals champion Medusa. 2-time World Finals champion Medusa. Man, the crowd is really getting loud for her. Medusa, one of the few drivers to have won a racing championship and a freestyle championship. You might remember, she was a part of that 3-way tie for the World Finals championship with, I believe it was Lupe Souza. Wow, why can't I remember? It was Lupe Souza and Jimmy Cretin, I want to say. Nice air from Medusa, but that's going to really hurt her run and end it right there. Wow, she put her foot to the floor after that. Those tires were absolutely flying. And Medusa's run is finished with a 7. So here's Steven Sims and Hooked. Now I think we're starting to get into those competitors that can really air it out on this track. And I know Steven Sims is a guy who loves to do that. Steven Sims has no fear. This kid was an absolute must-watch from the second he started driving and already getting big air in this freestyle run. Nice combo, too. I remember when he first got called up, I thought Steven Sims was going to be the next superstar in Monster Jam, and unfortunately, a couple things happened that ended up not leading to that happening, but the talent was always there, and he's showing that so far in just 3 hits in Jacksonville. What in the world? He just levitated over that ramp. Weird to see a monster truck quite literally floating. Nice sky wheelie. That ramp is quite steep, and Steven Sims decided to commit to it. I think he held back a little bit. Maybe he only gave it about 70%. Could you imagine what you get if you really hit that ramp super hard? I mean, you would be possibly in the upper deck. But he's hitting things in a lot of different ways. This is obviously the best run we've seen so far tonight. He's got a lot of time left, too. 20 seconds left in regulation, so I've got to imagine this regulation number got to be pretty good. I mean, he's getting big air. It might not even matter what his bonus time score is right now. He might take the lead just off of these first 90 seconds. Wow, wild move, hitting it practically sideways. It's funny, thinking about this event with the regulation and bonus time, today's drivers would never survive in the old school world of bonus time, because a lot of drivers today give a minute and a half of decent run, and then they go off in those last 30 seconds. The numbers wouldn't be much above a 35 these days. But Steven Sims and Hook trying to get himself up there to a number like that. And he's having a solid run, a lot of combos, a lot of big air. I want to see that momentum to be a little bit higher, but he's really been getting such big air, he can't really get that momentum up. He's about to wrap up bonus time right now. He's not going to get another move in that would count for a score. The scores are in, and he's going to give a little wave to Gravedigger before, I think, just turning it around and maybe going for one more move. He's going to send it one more time right off of that ramp. Doesn't want to fully commit and possibly flip the truck over. But a very good run from Hook, and it is your new leader at a 25. He will overtake Heavy Hitter and now be sitting in the hot seat. Here's a longtime veteran in the sport, Chad Fortune, Captain America. Such a pretty truck, that Captain America, man. I love having those Marvel trucks back in the day. The superhero trucks were some of the most visually appealing trucks in the circuit. And this Captain America certainly is included in that. I love the LED lights that they would have on there, the giant shield on the back. I mean, Captain America was really a beautiful sight. Also, another very cool thing about this truck that you don't get to see in Monster Jam anymore, that they covered the inside of the rims with those shields. I mean, just such a cool look. Hubcaps, that's what they are. They're hubcaps. I guess you can call them hubcaps. I don't know what you really could call them, but it's probably a good way to define it. Up on 2 wheels for a moment, he's going to stuff it into the vans. Oh my, that's some old school carnage right there. Just decided to throw the truck into the vans, because why not? Getting close to the end of regulation here. He's only got 30 seconds left of regulation. Still a minute left in this run. This checkered flag impede our vision for a moment, but not long enough. Nice combo in the sky wheelie. But definitely not at the same level that we saw from Steven Sims in that Hook truck. Chad trying to cross-thread it, trying to make something happen here in regulation, but right now his regulation number is not going to be the greatest as it ends right now. That move will count for both regulation and bonus time. Nice filming by Josh to keep that checkered flag out of the truck's line of sight, at least our line of sight of the truck. Still got 15 seconds left. Time to impress the bonus judge, but regulation, not much he can do about it at this point. He's going to try and cross-thread it up. Oh my, going for a wild ride on 2 wheels! Oh boy! Well, the truck ended in a wild way. Very uneventful freestyle to that point. He's got a little fire around the collectors, but nothing much more than that. Interesting run for Captain America, gets him a 23, and here's Damon Pachaw in Monster Energy. Damon Bradshaw, such an elite freestyler. Ready to take things to new heights. Look at that air in this Jacksonville sold-out crowd, Everbank Field. Ready to wind down freestyle here as Damon Bradshaw getting his first 30 seconds pretty much already in the books. Damon Bradshaw, the 2009 World Finals Freestyle Champion. Might have some rear steer problems, but I don't know. I think he's all right. Getting some nice air. Definitely a lot of air in the bag of tricks for Damon Bradshaw. That is really his specialty. He doesn't do much but get that sick air. Definitely not afraid to fly. A man who had a background in Supercross. Made his way from Supercross to Monster Jam. Started driving in the Air Force Afterburner truck about 2006 or 7, I want to say. I think it was 2006. I know 2007 is when he made his first World Finals. Nice air, hitting that from the side. Just such a different feel for Monster Jam events back in 2014. While no, this has not been the most exciting event so far. We haven't had much to get excited about. Still such a cool feeling back in the day. As regulation is over, and I've got to imagine that's going to be kind of on par with what Hooked got with Steven Sims, but might even be a little bit lower. Steven Sims is getting bigger air. Oh my, now Monster Energy's flying! Damon Bradshaw turning it up! Oh boy! Look at that save! Damon Bradshaw! It's too bad it came in bonus time because he can't really maximize the scoring on that. But look at him fly! Oh my, broke off the back right wheel. Right at the end of regulation, you've got to give him, or bonus time, you got to give him 5 bonus points. And those 5 bonus points are going to put him at a 27. You have to imagine it was a 22 in regulation and the perfect 5 at bonus, because that was the most perfect bonus time you could possibly have. Probably would have gotten upwards of a 35 or a 36. Here's Adam Anderson, Gravedigger the Legend. His time starts right there. Adam Anderson trying to get a good freestyle himself. Damon Bradshaw taking the lead with that 27, and Adam already getting some nice air. Adam Anderson, I'm trying to think at the time of this video, I know he went on to win the racing championship in 2014. I think he's still only a 2-time world champ. But at the time of this video, he is the defending world racing champion, and he would go on to defend that title and win it again in 2014. But Adam Anderson, we're all focusing on his freestyle right now. And in this Gravedigger the Legend truck, Adam Anderson was one of the craziest freestylers ever. So I can't wait to see what he does. 45 seconds left in regulation still. Nice air off the jammer and a beauty of a slap wheelie. That was all horsepower. That truck was ready for a slap wheelie, and Adam stabbed the throttle. Nice air. You gotta love putting the foot to the floor to really air it out. Didn't have much run-up, but just floored it. Using the Vance, just powering through those two. Absolutely no problem. Oh boy! What a wild move that was. And he's still got time in regulation. This is probably going to be the highest regulation number we've seen tonight. And he is airing it out. My goodness. Adam Anderson comboing it too. Setting himself up to take a lead. And with a big number. He's in bonus time. Adam Anderson already has a World Freestyle Championship under his belt and showing why. This is a great freestyle run. Something so nostalgic about watching Adam Anderson in Gravedigger the Legend 10 years ago. Absolutely special. He's got 8 seconds left in bonus time. Is he going to hit that backflip ramp from the side? It's not a backflip ramp anymore. It's just cross-threading it. Well, bonus time definitely left a little bit to be desired there from Adam Anderson, but now he's going to fly it. Oh, my! What in the world? A wild crash to end this run, and that truck is in pieces over there. Still trying to fight it. Regulation was far and away the best regulation we've seen tonight, but bonus time left a little bit to be desired, but the judges gave him the #1 spot right now with a 29. But how long is it going to last? Max D is out to freestyle, and it's Tom Nance. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Gravedigger did not get to freestyle tonight. Unfortunately, Carl Van Horn's truck could not get ready for the competition. So Max D, your last competitor, trying to take down Adam Anderson. It's either Adam Anderson in Gravedigger the Legend or Tom Meents in Max D. Tom Meents, at the time of this video, is the defending World Freestyle Champion. Took it home in 2013. And he is going to start with some nice air. Tom Meents still really in that era of his driving where he was still absolutely wild. This was really around the time that Tom was getting some of those crazy sidewall saves. I know that was such a common thing for Tom back in the 2013-14 years. Something that was it just happened so randomly. It's also, we're a little bit, I don't want to say past the prime of Tom Meents, but he's not the 2008 Tom Meents anymore, but he's still got a lot of that energy inside of him. And I'm sure we're going to see that here in this run. Nice air. And the fans here in Jacksonville, they've been seeing Tom Meents drive for such a long time. You know these fans, big Max D fans. Using a lot of different ramps, and he's getting some nice air, but he's got to pick it up just a little bit. The beautiful spiked Max D body. We got to see Tom do that cool encore. He's going to use that backflip ramp to just launch it. Oh my! He's in trouble! Oh no, Tom Meents is done right there. Too bad, Max D's going to get a 20, which means that he is not winning freestyle. Adam Anderson and Gravedigger the Legend does. Here's Carl Van Horn and Gravedigger. This is just an encore here for Carl Van Horn. Unfortunately for him, was not able to get a score. So Carl Van Horn out here just doing an encore for the fans, just for fun. So let's see what he can provide here in this freestyle run. Well, it's an encore, but it's still a freestyle. He can do whatever he wants. He's got the 2 minutes. Oh my! There's another Gravedigger on the track. Okay. Well, there's 2 Gravediggers. I don't know who's driving the other one, but they're both freestyling at the same time. Well, that's very fun. So 2 Gravediggers on the track at the same time. Not sure who's in what, but you know what? This is still very fun. Something we don't really ever see ever anymore. And even at that point in 2014, this is not a common sight. This is, the flashbulbs are going off now. Look at that air. I don't even know who's in what truck, but Gravedigger going nuts. And now they've kind of pinned themselves in a corner. Nice air. It's so weird to not know who's driving what truck, as they're both... Whoa, look at the sky wheelie from the one! He is just stuck up, and he is done, and they both flip over at the same time! How about that? A tandem freestyle. So cool. A nice encore and a nice treat for these fans. Definitely something that was, I'm sure, very, very welcomed. But wait! We're not done yet. We've got one more encore to get through before this event is over. It is Doomsday. That's right, this is still the time of the Doomsday. Not sure who drove it. The Monster Truck Wiki says that it was probably Damon Bradshaw, but I have no idea. So Doomsday coming out to freestyle. He's going to give one more run for these fans in Jacksonville. Let's see what he can do. Again, no idea who's driving it. So we're just going to go for Doomsday. It's been a night of encores. What a funny evening here in Jacksonville, Florida. Look at that slap wheeling. Now this is also when these Doomsday encores were happening pretty much every single event, and they would just take different drivers that were at the event to drive Doomsday. Very fun kind of thing. This is when Doomsday was just an encore truck, not used as a competing truck. I don't think Doomsday was not a competitor in the World Finals this year either. Oh my, Sky Wheelie flips him over. Oh my, can he save it? Yes, he can. How did he do that? Doomsday with a wild save in the encore, one of the moves of the night. And if that is Damon Bradshaw, well, then he had the 2 moves of the night. Had that great save in his freestyle run, and now Doomsday getting a great save here in the encore. Doomsday trying to really, I mean, I love how the ballyhoos from the spotlights, I mean, that was such a cool time to have the encores going. I miss the encore days of Monster Jam. Such a very, very fun time. Doomsday, bit of a wild ride here. Oh, he's going to drive over Gravedigger the Legend. Oh my. He just demolished Gravedigger the Legend that was already demolished. And that'll end things off tonight in Jacksonville. What a wild event and what a fun event. I had a blast. I hope you guys did too. Thank you so much for watching yet another throwback commentary, taking it back a decade to 2014, and we'll see you in the next one.